Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to show you guys how I attach bodice appliques to my dresses, so let's get right into it. So here is the base of my prom dress, and here is my bodice applique. As you can see, it comes with like a whole lot of mesh on the side, so I'm going to show you how I take it off. So first I lay the applique on a Teflon sheet. I'll link it below. And I'm using my wood burner. I like to test it out before I actually go in. And usually I just start at the top, or you can start anywhere, and I'm just outlining the applique. I'm just tracing it, not getting too close. And since it's hot, you do want to work fast. So I just continue to do it all the way around. And around those curves, I don't go too deep in, just about 1.5 inches in. And I just continue to go out all the way around. Those little rhinestones that are at the bottom, I usually just save them for later. And as you can see, it just melts right off. And this is how it was looking. So this is the applique. So again, this is the base. I have my circle skirt train attached, and I already have a video on how I do that. And I start with my needles already pre-threaded. I start with about 4 needles. I used curved and straight needles. But yes, I just lay it on top exactly where I want it. So since, I only have 2 hands, it's very difficult. So I just kind of pin the top, however, and then I just make sure I center the very center where I want it, as you can see me doing. And I'm using the lines that are on the dress form. And I just stick a pin right in the center. And then I go and make the changes at the top. I wasn't sure how I was going to do the top just yet. I was waiting for my client to text back. So don't even worry about how the top is laying right now. And I like to stretch as I pin it, but I'm making sure that I'm keeping everything centered. And here you can see me kind of just stretching. And I also know where I want those little curved pieces to lay on the bottom, like the little hip outline. I want it right under the waist seam. So you see me just moving the top, and I'm just sticking pins everywhere all the way around. And again, I'm making sure I'm stretching it. That way it's not like loose on my client. So I'm stretching it up, I'm stretching it to the sides, depending on where it is. And I stick a few pins in that space. Here you see I'm still stretching. And you see I'm just stretching and pinning. And then I'm making sure, like, if on one side is close to the side seam, that on the other side is also close to the side seam. But I'm just making sure it's symmetrical, and you'll see me doing that. Checking the sides. So yes, and then at this point my client had texted me back, and she was, showing me that she wanted them like on the top. So the way that the applique is made, it doesn't just, you have to cut like a dart into it, which you see me doing, because it's not laying flat right on top. So I just pin it where I want it, and then where I see that extra space, I'm just going to cut straight across. And some of the beads, some of the rhinestones do fall off, but I kind of just sew the piece that I'm cutting, I'm just sewing it right on top. I'm just making space. And then here you see me cutting that dart, but I'm not going to cut all the way across. I just want to leave space so I can get it flat. And you see I'm pulling it flat down. And here I'm going in and cutting more because it's not laying as flat as I wanted to. And you see, I'm just laying it right on top. And then I'm cutting off like the extra beads. Since I'm kind of covering up some of it, I'm just cutting off those extra beads so you don't really see a difference. And there's multiple ways to do this. Like, I don't know the correct or wrong way, but this is the way that I did it. And it worked for me. And then I'm gonna just go on the other side and do the exact same thing. I'm just gonna kind of, cut my little dart out. Alright, and now we're gonna start hand sewing. So I'm starting with my curved needle, and I go right into the center. I'm going through the mesh and out. And then when I'm coming out, I'm going to make like a knot. And here you see, I'm going to make the knot, and then I'm just going to pull it tight. Because without a knot, the thread will just slide right through. And then I'm just going through. So my thread is blue, but that's fine. But at this point, you can use a gray thread. But since I had the side boob coverage, I kind of needed blue and gray. But here, since I'm doing it discreetly, you won't even see the blue. But you should get one that matches the applique. So I'm going through the applique, through the mesh, back through the mesh, and through the applique, and I'm pulling. I'm doing fairly small stitches. Here you see I'm making a knot. And again, just through the mesh, through the applique, back through the mesh, back through the applique. Every so often, probably every 3 stitches, I'll probably make a knot. Or just when I feel like, oh, I need a knot here, I might do a double knot. Here you see I'm going through the mesh, through the applique, but at an angle. And this is also another way to sew it. I'm kind of going at an angle because I do want to pull that piece to the center more, so that's why I'm doing it that way. But for the most part, I kind of do it the way that I was doing it the first time. And I just continue this all the way around, and it does take some time, so put on some good music, watch some good TV. And since I do fairly small stitches, like this can take a while. I'm continuing to do this all the way around, and this is how I do it. And as I'm doing it, I'm taking the pins out. But yeah, this is how I do it, and I'm just going to speed it up. Alright, and this is how my dress turned out. I have a few pics of my client and her dress. Actually, my client and her friend. I did make both dresses. Be sure to check me out on Instagram, TikTok, like, comment, and subscribe. And I want to thank you guys. I've been getting like so many comments and likes, and I have like 3,000 subscribers. And I really appreciate it. So thank you so much. Let me know what you guys want to see next. But yes, thanks for watching.